we African women, we don't talk about the taboo of like stillbirth and miscarriages a lot. We just brush it out and we don't talk about it because I don't see any of my friends, like African friends, talk about miscarriage. I think I'm the first person between my part of friends, as far as I'm concerned, talked about it because I've been through it few number of times, maybe like 5 times or 6 times, like a stillbirth, no, like it's not getting pregnant, it's not the problem. It just carrying the full term pregnancy was the problem for me. So I was lucky in a way that I'm having those issues in this country because as far as you know, in African country, if you have those kind of issues, they will say, "Oh, it's a voodoo something," or maybe you had a lot of you had a lot of you miscarriages, like sorry, an abortion or something like that. That's why you can't carry a baby. They're not gonna try to find why it's causing it. But I was lucky enough to have amazing doctors here who knew what was my issues.
Welcome to Inspire Talk Show, and lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
I know I have spoken to you earlier, and I know who Binta is, but my followers obviously don't know who Binta is. So kindly introduce to the viewers who Binta is.
Oh, my name is Binta. I'm from West Africa, Guinea-Conakry. And I live in Cardiff with my husband and my 2 girls. So yeah.
Wow. Amazing. How old are your girls, Binta?
7 and a 3.5-year-old. She's turning 4 soon, next month.
How are you managing? What about homeschooling now? It must be heavy because.
Oh my God. I leave homeschooling to my husband because in the morning I'm at work. So he's here with them in the morning. So he does their homeschooling a bit. And then when I come, I just try to ask them what they did. And they tell me what they did. And I think they're having more fun in this homeschooling because trust me, if I was homeschooled, I don't know if I will learn anything. I don't have the patience.
Yeah, we literally became teachers actually. So it is giving us many skills that we didn't have in the past.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So Binta, tell me again about your journey. I know you are an activist, you're doing a lot of things. Share a little bit about your journey here in Cardiff, the way you started your foundation back in Africa, and the source of it all. Just share a little bit about that journey in search of
yeah. I came to this country as a student, so I came to study, and then I just ended up in Cardiff, surprisingly, by friends, and then I carried on with my study and then my works, and I met my husband here, so I just decided to stay after my study, really. But I always had the passion of having my own foundation to help children in Africa, because to tell the truth, our children in Africa need loads of help, and whatever little help we could do, even just a tiny bit of it, and just try to be kind to our country and to our African kids in Africa. It just I'm just trying to do a little bit of it. So yeah.
And from our previous conversation, you had to go through this journey trying to have children of your own. So how was that journey until you were able to become a mother, Binta?
About my foundation, you mean?
No, I meant your journey trying to have children of your own as a mom.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It was a wrong road. I'm telling you. It just if people who knows me knows how much I love kids. how much I like to see babies. Every time I see a baby, I want to pick them up. So for me, having children it was a very stressful, dark, and a bit lonely because in we African women, we don't talk about the taboo of like stillbirth and miscarriages a lot. We just brush it out and we don't talk about it because I don't see any of my friends, like African friends, talk about miscarriage. I think I'm the first person between my part of friends, as far as I'm concerned, talked about it because I've been through it few number of times, maybe like 5 times or 6 times, like a stillbirth, no, like it's not getting pregnant, it's not the problem. It just carrying the full-term pregnancy was the problem for me. So I was lucky in a way that I'm having those issues in this country because as far as you know, in African country, if you have those kind of issues, they will say, "Oh, it's a voodoo something," or maybe you had a lot of you had a lot of you miscarriages, like sorry, an abortion or something like that. That's why you can't carry a baby. They're not gonna try to find why it's causing it. But I was lucky enough to have amazing doctors here who knew what was my issues, why I'm not carrying a full-term pregnancy every time I got pregnant. And then they fixed it. And then miraculously, I have my 2 girls, which was good. But it was dark days, yeah.
I can just imagine carrying the pregnancy and after certain time, it's normal, and then you don't talk about it,
Yeah.
and then you carry on again and again. It must have been very heavy, I can imagine.
Oh, trust me. I don't wish that to any woman, what I've been through with my pregnancy, because my first pregnant, I was pregnant until 20, 21 weeks. And then they say it's not going to stay. The second one was twins. I lost the first one and I lost the second one, 22 weeks. And then it happened the same way until they find out what was going on there. I just can't carry a full-term pregnancy unless I have a surgery. And then I have to be in bed rest for 9 months for my first daughter. And I did that, 9 months, I didn't left the house. So, and then I had a cesarean. And then it's the same thing with my second daughter too. With her, I was out and then I went to work for a few times. But at the end, the doctor was surprised I was still moving around, going to work, and then they just told me, you need to stay home. You know, you know how the condition you have, so you need to stay home. So with her, having her was the issue because I almost lost my life when I was having my second one, which thank God it didn't happen. So yeah. But I'm blessed that I have them now. I wish I could have more kids, but I think the doctor will say to me, no, no, no. So I think it's a topic that we African women, we should talk about it because it happens a lot in African women. It does happen a lot.
I'm trying to imagine really that journey and our culture. You know, culture, we can't say our African culture stays in Africa. We move with it most of the time.
Yeah.
And that social stigma that
Yes.
people face, you know, when you can't carry, you know, like when you can't carry full-term pregnancy,
Yes.
and what people would say about you, and how you'd feel about yourself, and how you'd feel about your marriage. So how was it again? Did you maybe face such kind of, you know, stigma?
For me, the stigma was there were some of my friends, they were feeling a bit sorry for me, and then they judged me on the side. The way, you know, there are a way you could speak to somebody when you wanna like support your sister, and there's a way of talking around the conversation, and then like if you are picking words and trying to blame on something. So you start
Oh, yeah.
feeling all this type of this type of miscommunication. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they did ask me the questions why this is what's happening to me, I could explain to
Mm.
them in a better way why this is happening to me. It's not like I did
Yes.
anything wrong. It just I have a condition that lots of African women, as far as I did understand it, the way the doctor explained, happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
So when I realized what was going on, every time somebody say, "Oh, finally you had your baby," or "Finally you had your baby, congratulations," and it feel like
Okay.
oh, like I wasn't deserving.
Oh, you aren't meant to be, or you're not a woman enough. Ah.
Exactly. So I wasn't a woman enough, or they were shocked that I finally carried full term and then I had my baby. And then
Mm.
it felt like some of them, they was feeling sorry, but they were
Mm.
in a way glad that it was happening to me. And then when I had my baby, they pull away in a way like we're going to pretend to be happy, but we were
Mm.
glad that she was in that pain. So that's how
Oh.
you start to know who's your friends. And then but I wasn't ashamed of it. I was proud to talk about it with anybody who wanted to talk about it with me. I was happy that I went through it because it made me a strong person. It made me
Yes.
like feel like yes, I've been through this. Yes, I could
I like
overcome it.
I like that you mentioned that it made you a strong person. I was about to ask what lesson you learned from it. So guys, see the strength.
Oh yeah,
That's a strong. Yeah.
oh yeah. I become very strong when I've been through it, and then that's why when I tried to have my second one, I said I'm willing to go through it again, and then I went through it, the bad, the ugly, every
Mm.
day going to the hospital, doing the scan and holding my breath, hoping that they're gonna say, "Oh, this time it's not gonna stick." And every time I got a good result, I go home, I'm happy about it. I just was hoping, I hope in a big way, having a positivity vibe. I didn't think about even the worst thing that was happening to me when I had my first. I was just thinking about, okay, this is my second pregnancy. I'm just gonna take this as every pregnancy like with a positive attitude and see how it
Wow.
goes. So that's how I did it.
Mm. So you dealt with failure and managed to remain positive.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we fail a couple of times, we end up accepting failure and no, that's our portion, but it's not. So you had to change the narrative. Say, I'm carrying it, positively, and I'll have a baby, and you actually had a baby.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
It was hard because I was like questioning myself a lot. I said, maybe I'm not drinking a lot water enough, or I'm not taking care, I'm not eating the right food, or maybe I'm not doing this. So I got all these million questions, but you don't know who to ask because you don't know who gonna answer those questions for yourself. And then you just start, your mental health start going all over the place. And then when you try to talk to somebody, you don't know if that person going to be supportive or understanding because they've never been through it. So I didn't know anybody who been through this situation around my friends, around my, even people in my family. It's only one person I know who been through trying to have a baby was my auntie, my mom's sister, but she never had children. She still doesn't have children because I know when she was going through that, I think I was maybe like 12 or 9 years old. So I didn't know what she was going to because I was a kid. But even her, I couldn't talk about it with her because I went to a level where she never been to, like being pregnant and carrying the pregnancy. She never could. She never had that kind of. She never been to that level, like getting pregnant, actually getting pregnant. So I couldn't like go to her and talk to her. But I felt the way that she was there for me. She was calling me and supporting me in a distance, which I did appreciate because my family, all the women in my family knew what I was going through. So they would call me and just push positivity inside me.
Yeah.
And then that's what I went through it. Yeah.
So if I understand your situation, you couldn't relate your situation to anyone's experience. You felt you were
Yeah.
just alone.
Yeah, it is. Because there's nobody who I could just say, okay, you've been through this. Tell me, what should I do? How should I feel? Okay, what am I supposed to go through? Tell me what step and step. All I knew is that, okay, I'm losing this baby again. There's nothing I can do. I just have to wait and get pregnant again and then hope for the best. So that's when my mentality was going. I didn't give up on having a baby. So that's one thing I didn't lose, because I wanted to have a baby. I didn't give up of getting pregnant, because if I did give up, I wouldn't have my two girls. So I was willing to go through all the surgery or the operation that I had before I got pregnant, because without those surgery, I wouldn't have my two girls. So I've been through all those pain, and trust me, it's painful, really painful.
I can imagine. So your journey, what did it teach you? What did it, I know you got two girls, two beautiful girls, I've seen them. But what else did it birth? Because it feels like it birthed a strong woman in you, it birthed two babies. You know, that Jan, that courage. What else did you gain from it?
It just teach me that life is precious and having children is precious. And that pushed me more that, okay, I'm going to start helping children, because if I could go through what I've been through, I don't see why any woman in this world could have a baby and not take care of that baby. So maybe they have the reason why they couldn't. I'm not there to judge them. But if I could help those children in a way that I could, maybe feed them or give them a little bit of love, I'm happy to do that, like a little bit of kindness. I think we all need that. For me, the most important thing is kindness in this world. We have to be kind to each other, because kindness goes a long way. It helps with your mental health, it helps with your confidence, it helps you make a positive decision and one more in life, because that's what kindness do. So that's what pushed me to create my foundation to help more children in Africa.
Tell me about your foundation.
My foundation, I name it after my daughter. I call it the Eva Foundation. That's her name, Eva. She got her both grandma's name, Isa to Eva. So I said Eva is a really good sounds name. So I call it the Eva Foundation for Children in Need in Africa. So I created it in 2014 with my mother, Isa to Sherif. She lives in Africa there. So it's something I always wanted to do since I was a kid, have my own foundation. So soon I had my daughter. She saw my daughter, went there on holiday. I keep seeing all these children on the street. It's like something is telling me, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You need to start doing something, even just a little. So my mom and I just started talking about it. And then we said, okay, this time when I go, I'm gonna start, try to see what I can do, what I can bring for those children. And then, yeah, we did all the paperwork, and then we started setting up all the foundation in Africa. And soon I came back, I started doing the work, really.
So what kind of activities are you like involved in EVA Foundation? What does EVA Foundation do in terms of helping the orphans?
The EVA Foundation help children, the children in need. Like we go to orphanages, and sometimes we go even to the hospital, like newborn babies, we help them too. So basically we try just to supply things that they need to grow in this world, like clothes, like education, like place to stay, like food to eat, stuff like that, like something that could help them grow as a person, like be a kid. Think about, oh, where my next meal gonna, am I gonna eat today before I go to bed? Or am I gonna have only one pair of shoes? Or can I have one more pair of shoes? Or I don't have to wear the same clothes every day. So that's, I'm just trying to do a little bit of that could just give them a little bit of smile and a little bit of hope, that they know like somebody is there who cares for them a bit. That's all the kids need. They only need love, safe place to be, and people to love them. So that's what my foundation is all about.
So you are working with your mom or maybe with other people back in Africa, because it sounds like a big mission.
Yeah, I'm working with my mom there. She's the head of my foundation because I'm not there all the time. So I'm the co-founder, and then she's there. And whatever idea I have, I tell her, and then she just work with me. And then she's working with an organization, the Lions Clubs. So they work,
Yeah.
they do a lot of amazing work for people there. So because she's involved with that organization, sometimes if I want to do something, I try to do with the organization, because that gives me more opportunity for people to know my foundation and to know what I'm doing there for the orphanages. So far since we started, we've been doing some amazing things there. So we help a lot of children. We help, last time we did with the hospital, the newborn baby, we helped them too. So we did a lot for this since we created the foundation, and then we want to do some more work.
Of course, it's such, you know. So, how many orphanage are you working with at the moment?
So far I've been working with 6 orphanage in my country. There's loads of it, but I'm just working in the city. I'm not like outside the city. We got loads of orphanages all over these small towns in my country, because it's a really big place. And we've been working with 6 orphanages that I know the people who run it. So my mom worked directly with them, and then when I go, I work directly with them. I ask them what stuff they need. If they, whatever they need, they tell me, and I try to find those things here. I just go around and ask people if they have a bag that they don't use, or some clothes that they don't need anymore, that is good enough for another kids to wear. So I just collect those items, and when I go loads of it, I just take it to Africa, and then we just give it to the orphanages. We just like spread them out around, so some more kids will have it.
Right. So, how, what, like, age groups in terms of like, yeah, what age, from what age to what age the children you look
We
after?
tend to go from one, because when you go to the orphanage, you will see all different type of ages. There's one from 1 till 18 or 17. And the amazing thing is that the kids all goes to school, because the orphanage, they have their own school in their orphanage there. So they got the library in there, they got the infirmary in there, and that's the place where they stay. So there's all different ages. Sometimes you even see newborn babies. So yeah, it's all kind of age. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, how does it make you feel that you have managed really to do all this work, and all birthed by your journey actually of trying to have children of your own? Even after you got children of your own, you still had to help those children without mothers or fathers. So, how does it make you feel? You know, you're such an incredible woman.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you don't know how much this make me feel. I wish it's the only thing I want to do in my life is just work and help these kids. I wish I have more possibility, more to give, and I could just do it. That's all I want to do. Like just help those kids and see the smile on their faces. The best thing. And then when you go to this orphanage, they hug you. They're happy to see you, and they just happy that you came, and they show them you care, and you could just see the butterfly in their faces and the smile. And it just, when I come back, I'm more determined again to do more. So yeah, it just and because I struggle a lot to have kids, and for me, children are precious. They're just precious. I love it. I love it's the best thing. It's the best feeling to help somebody. It doesn't matter if you go to an orphanage, it's just your neighbor. If you got more than your next door neighbor, just take it and just share it. Just share it and give it to your neighbor. That's how my parents taught me. I see my mom doing it since I was a kid. She still does it. Every time I go there, there's so many kids in our house. I just say, where are all these kids coming from? They're just sitting there like if they stayed there. So it hasn't changed.
I think also somehow your mom inspired you also to
Oh
do what you're
yeah,
doing.
she's she's a strong woman, my mother, and she inspired me to do more, to help more kids, to just be a good person and just to be kind to each other. And she just, that's how I knew my mother, and that's how she is. So I feel like if she could do it, why should I not? Because it doesn't matter how, if you are rich or not. That doesn't mean it shouldn't give somebody a reason not to help somebody, whether you are poor or you rich or you don't have anything. Whatever little thing you have, if you're somebody you see don't have that thing, it's okay to share. Because if you are doing that in Africa, trust me, there will be less poor people in Africa. There will be less children on the street in Africa begging or selling, because that's the problem we have in Africa. Lots of children are selling things to feed, to help out their parents, or begging on the street to help out their parents. We got loads of that in my country.
And that's how most of them get exploited because of their, I mean, of their condition. You know,
Yes,
that's how some bad people can take advantage of poor children.
yes.
So I'm glad you're doing that. You're trying to really make a difference
Thank you.
in your own capacity, and it's a good thing, definitely a very, very good thing.